Hi, this is Paul Harr from the Saxophonist.org, and I'm here with a playtest and review of the Studio Jazz Alto Saxophone Mouthpiece by Aaron Drake. Let's face it, if you're a tenor player, the world is your oyster when it comes to mouthpieces. There's contemporary mouthpieces, there are vintage mouthpieces, you have metal, you have hard rubber, you have baffles, you have no baffles. But when it comes to alto, boy, it's all just kind of a variations of a theme of Meyer Brothers, right? When, why not? The classic Meyer Brothers alto saxophone mouthpiece was played by so many amazing players. It makes sense that a lot of companies would want to copy it. But I really appreciate that there are other options out there that can blend the best of all worlds. And one of them is this Studio Jazz mouthpiece from Aaron Drake. This is a truly beautifully made alto saxophone mouthpiece here in 24 karat gold plate. As you would expect with Aaron's mouthpieces, incredible craftsmanship, incredible attention to detail, and this mouthpiece really marks the return to making metal mouthpieces after a 7-year hiatus. I'm not really an alto player by trade. I don't get a chance to play it very much, but I will tell you, playing a mouthpiece like this does two things. One, it wants me to want to play the alto saxophone more, and two, it makes me realize that I have stereotypes that are not always very true, and that is metal mouthpieces on alto are going to be too bright, they're going to be too unwieldy. Well, let me tell you something. According to Aaron's website, it says that this mouthpiece is designed for somebody who wants to play everything from big band jazz where they need projection and warmth to contemporary funk music where they need power and brightness. Well, I can tell you that he has once again delivered as promised. This is one of the more comfortable mouthpieces I think I've ever played for the alto saxophone. The design of the bill here, if you can see it, is such that it really fits the imprint of the mouth easily. It's not too narrow. The teeth are not forced at an odd position. It really sits on my lip really beautifully. This mouthpiece does have flexibility. It has a rollover baffle as opposed to maybe a more drastic baffle like his David Sanborn signature series. But this mouthpiece really does offer a lot of variety. I'm using right now a D'Addario 3 soft jazz select filed reed, and I can produce a lot of wattage. But there's still a lot of warmth. There's a wonderful sense of core to the sound. But I can also change the tone. Now, let me show you how flexible this mouthpiece can be with a variety of different reeds. So, I'm going to use a Java 2.5. Now, this is going to be a brighter reed. You can see that I can get a nice contemporary bright sound. You've already heard me on something a little bit warmer like a D'Addario 3S. Here's what it can sound like if you just change to a little bit stronger reed. In fact, I found that if I had the right reed, I could really access even more of that flexibility that he claims that you can get. So for example, I can go. And I can get a nice biting sound. But if I have enough of wood on the reed, I can also go. Okay, now let me show you when I go to a D'Addario 3 hard. This is almost a little bit too hard for what I would use with this mouthpiece. You can see the flexibility that you can get. I was actually surprised. One of my favorite sounds on the alto saxophone is by a wonderful friend and mentor, Gary Foster. And I was really thinking, you know, I love the way this mouthpiece feels, and it makes me almost want to try to tackle the world of the E flat. But I don't know if I could give up, you know, that color that I hear in my head. Well, guess what? I don't have to. This is a tempting mouthpiece, and it would definitely be one that I would have a discussion at the family budget meeting if I were more of an alto player. In fact, I got to be honest with you. Like I said, this is a mouthpiece that if you're a tenor player who occasionally doubles on alto, it'll make you think seriously about wanting to pick up the alto a little bit more. It is beautifully well done. I love the gold plate. It's just gorgeous. And the design is very contemporary. Comes with their quad point ligature or this Robner, which I feel just, I like the sound of just a little bit better. At north of $550, I think it's like 500 and change. It is well within the market price, especially for a handcrafted metal mouthpiece. Has a beautiful rollover baffle. The tip rail and side rails are remarkably well aligned. The table is flat and really a fantastic mouthpiece. If you're thinking about venturing into the alto game, maybe the price might be a little bit too much for you. But if you're a multi-dimensional saxophonist who plays tenor, alto, soprano in a variety of settings, this is really seriously a mouthpiece you consider. In fact, I've got a big band gig coming up, and I'm taking this with me to see how it performs, because the response is immediate, the sound is impactful, it's flexible, which is important for me, and really, you know, it's from Aaron Drake, so one of the mouthpiece makers that you can trust that you're going to get some quality workmanship from. So, to learn more about this mouthpiece, as well as other products, featured interviews, and educational features, be sure to check out www.thesaxophonist.org.